Hello, my name's Elanor Miller, and I'm talking to Chris Gordon on Hellblazer Biz.
Everyone, I have the honour and the privilege and the delight of the company of Elanor Miller today.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you coming on to chat to me. It's mine. It's an honour. Met you last year at the screening for The Code and The Doorman and Chimera, wasn't it? That was the other one.
Little Glass Pictures Showcase.
Yeah, that's the one. It was a great one. That's where I had the opportunity and pleasure to meet you in person, which was fantastic. And yeah, sort of, it's been a long time coming, but finally I can get you on my show. So yeah, this is just to talk about, obviously you've come out with a few new things lately, and obviously there's one big one we want to talk about, which is, we'll get to, which is Gods Among Us, which you're not only the actress in, you wrote and produced and directed it.
Yeah, I decided to dive in headfirst.
Yeah, why not?
Not the only director, however. I'm co-directing with the absolutely wonderful Daniel Alexander of Daniel Alexander Films. He's multi-award winning and just phenomenal human being all round.
Excellent. No, but even so, it's still great, and you know, it's not an easy feat to do something like that, I'm sure.
No.
to take on.
Like, it'll be fine, and then you start doing it, and it's like, this is really hard.
Yeah, I can just imagine sort of how multifaceted it is and difficult when you're behind the camera and then in front of the camera and then also managing everything else as a producer, which is kind of what they do as well. They sort of oversee the whole production, and yeah, you've not chosen an easy thing, have you, Eleanor?
No, but I do have, like I said, I've got Daniel to co-direct. I've also got Kerry Browne, who was in The Code.
Yeah.
Wonderful, and she's producing with me too. So I can, you can sort of share the burden, I guess, a little bit.
Excellent.
It's been a wonderful experience from start to, I would say finish, but we're not finished. So start to middle so far. Experience.
Yeah, because you're about to start filming. I know you've just done the teaser for it as well, which is that should be coming out soon. So I've seen the stills and the teasers of the teaser coming out.
We're playing coy at the moment.
Yeah.
We filmed in an underwater tank in Bourne, I'm not sure how you say it.
Mm-hmm.
And well, that was kind of exhilarating. It was a little bit nerve-wracking at first because, you know, we're just sticking everyone in a tank. But it was really good. It was really exciting. It was very wet. But very, very exciting.
Excellent. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, it was probably quite scary as well in a way, because obviously if you stay underwater, because you're like, okay, how long do I have to stay under here?
Well, for everyone else, I'm quite short, as you've probably noticed. I'm just 5'4", and everyone is like, I think the next shortest person there would have been Kerry, and she's 5'6", and the water in the tanks 5 foot deep. So I had to sort of like, if I could turn my head up, I could stand in the water, whereas everyone else could just sort of stand.
Yeah.
One of our actors, Robert Brooks, he plays Tyr.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably the tallest of us.
Yeah, he's quite tall, isn't he? Yeah.
He's just like, well, he was in The Code as well. He just stands, and it's like up to here on him, up to like chest height, and he's just like, this isn't that deep. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, great, thanks for that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What are you all whinging about?
They're like, right, this is like a bath for him. It was great though. We really enjoyed it.
Excellent. No, that's just, sorry, I had myself on mute then. I was laughing. I mean, yeah, that's the other thing as well I've noticed about Gods Among Us. It's a veritable feast of delights of the cast of all friends of myself and the show. You know, Kate Davies Speak, Rob Dukes, Jacob Anderson, Kerry, and yourself. It's, you know, obviously there are others as well, but it's just they're the ones I've worked with and sort of talked to on the show several times and chatted to and met, and they're a great bunch of people. So I can imagine just how much fun it has been, or it will be, because I know you just started at that sort of level now. So I can imagine how much fun it has been so far and how much fun you're going to have filming.
Yeah, I cannot wait. It's going to be. There's so much to do, and there's so much to do in the meantime. Though the promo is to aid crowdfunding. So we're getting our budget, we're looking into investments, things like that. It's quite exciting. Hopefully we'll have news on that soon.
Excellent. No, it'd be great to get that, and obviously I'll share links out wherever I can and do what I can to help.
Thank you so much.
No, you're welcome.
Sorry? We'll give you a shout out.
Yeah. We'll see what I can do. Not that I can do. I'll do whatever I can. I'm not the biggest Twitter personality by any means. But
me neither. Just, I know this is probably like going to be the nail in my coffin, but I'm not a big fan of Twitter. I prefer Instagram. Like
a lot of people do though nowadays.
like it's just Twitter is quite restricting because you have to like make everything small and let you know like your actual caption or whatever, and then your hashtags and stuff. It's all what is it, like 180 characters or 140?
Yeah, some 140 I think it is. Yeah.
That's limiting, especially when I'm a writer. I'm gonna say plenty until you can't be bothered listening to me anymore.
That's the reason I did this show. Like what I was mentioned before, because I was giving like motivational stuff. Because in Start of Constantine, I was getting annoyed because there's certain personalities in these fandoms who are bunny boiling. They're very very dedicated people to the actors and the cast, and they get very disheartened and upset. Yes, yeah. I'll say dedicated people. Some of them, no, seriously, bunny boiling stalker people. Not to me, thankfully. No one would ever stalk me, which is a bonus. Yeah.
You'll get.
No, I won't.
You never know.
This is not going to get them.
Jimmy Kimmel and have people stalking your house and stuff.
No.
You wouldn't be Jimmy Kimmel, you'd still be you, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that wouldn't be nice at all. I keep wanting to say, actually, James Corden, that's what I want to do. I want to knock him off his top spot one day.
Yeah. And no, I don't. I like the bits he does in his show, but I think I prefer, like, Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel. I don't know why. Yeah. Oh, actually, Graham Norton, the holy grail of, like, chat shows is Graham Norton, isn't it? Yeah. Like, when you've done that, you've made it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. He's brilliant. So good.
Award that was wonderful to watch. He looked so surprised, and then they went back to Father Ted, which is just phenomenal. I love Father Ted.
Again, fantastic show. Yeah, it's so funny. Can't even go into that now because I'll be here all day.
We communicated Father Ted quotes. It's like how it was working, but I won't because you have to swear to say most of them. So I'll let that go. I just let her off into the breeze.
Yeah, I was about to do the same thing then. I won't do that. I grew up on Blackadder and Monty Python anyway, so yeah, my life is filled with those quotes.
So much.
They just don't make the comedy like that anymore. So just
like Black Books. Black Books.
I haven't seen it, which is a sacrilege. I've got to watch it. I think I started watching about 2 episodes, and I really did love it. But then I can't remember. I didn't watch any more.
It's so worth it. There isn't that many episodes. I think is there less than 20? I think the first season has maybe 6 episodes, and episode 2 and season 2 and 3 have maybe 8. Yeah. So there's 20 around 20, 22. But it's amazing. It's just worth. It's all on More 4, so just do it. And Dylan Moran's phenomenal.
Oh yeah, and what is it? Bill Bailey as well, isn't it? Yeah.
Also phenomenal.
Yes, yeah, very good. I was actually watching him in Hot Fuzz 2 nights ago.
Oh, I love Hot.
I've started introducing my son to the Cornetto trilogy. The Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz.
I'm taking we can't swear here.
Oh no, you can do. It's fine. Don't worry. If it slips out, it slips out. Don't worry.
The best thing I've ever heard is if you want to be a big cop in a small town, fuck off up the model village. The best thing I've ever heard in my life. Like see when someone, when people give when people ask actors like what's their favorite movie quotes, and people will be like, oh, the greatest prank the devil ever pulled was telling the world it didn't exist or whatever it is. I'll be like, fuck off up the model village. Yeah.
Yarp.
Yarp. Or what? Oh, do you know? Actually, that's my favorite movie quotes from Blade. Like, judge me as you will. He's so when at the end when he told me I could swear, so I'm afraid.
That's fine, don't worry.
He is when Blade, right at the end, he's talking to Frost, and he goes, "Some motherfucker's always trying to ice skate uphill." It's like the best I've ever heard. I love Blade. I quite like my vampires and supernatural stuff and things. I'm quite high to hell, but I never used to. I was a massive goth as a kid.
Oh right, okay, excellent. I mean, Blade was one of the best films going. Wesley Snipes. I mean, I've heard they were doing another one as well. And they're trying to get Wesley Snipes was trying to get it back going.
Series apparently they're doing now.
A series, all right, okay.
It's going to be Blade.
It would be. You can't have anyone else as Blade.
Well, did you not see the original TV series with that rapper Sticky Fingers, whose name is appalling, by the way? It's absolutely appalling. But he was in it. It wasn't actually that bad, but it wasn't as good.
I think I did. It's a few years back, wasn't it? About 10 years or so ago. Yeah.
Got cancelled after one season. It was.
Yeah.
No, Yeah, it was alright. Alright.
Yeah, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's not as good as Wesley Snipes' Blade though. It's like some people are just born like he's born to be Blade.
Born Blade, what, like Chris born to be Captain America?
Yeah, and Carl Urban's born to be Dredd.
Oh, so true. That movie's so underrated. I love that
I
film.
know, I can't believe it. I was reading about it because I met him. You probably saw my pictures everywhere because I saw
Yeah.
at Comic Con in December. He was a nice guy, but he just seemed a bit distant. He was looking every time he'd have a picture with someone, he'd be looking over the shoulders of everyone else, and it's like, no, I want you to focus on me. I was just.
Look at me.
Do you know how much you charge for a selfie?
Really? You have to
40. Oh yeah, when you go to Comic Cons, you have to pay for a lot of them. You have to. Some of them do it for free, but some charge now. Even and because they have their professional photos, it was £40 for an autograph, and £40 for a selfie. So
How do you like conscionably charge that much?
I know. I don't know if it's the actors or if it's the actual convention, because the convention obviously pay a lot of money for people to come. So someone like Carl Urban, I guess, must cost them a fortune. I remember.
He's Elanor.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was. I mean, I don't fanboy when I meet people and talk to. That's half of the reason I love doing my show is because people keep saying, "How do you do what you do? How can you talk to people and actors or actresses?" And I'm like, because they're just the same as me. And I usually find within 5 minutes we're both having hysterical laughter because we found something in common. And we're just talking like Blackadder. It's easy, but Carl Urban, I was just like, oh my god, it's Carl Urban, it's Carl Urban. The entire queue, and I was like, oh, I've just met Carl Urban, and I was looking at my wallet and thinking, I've now skinted myself out for the rest of the day because I've just spent £80 for less than 60 seconds of Carl Urban's time.
How much were you tempted to be like, you see too much Aylmer, son of Aylmer? You must get time.
Yeah, I think he does. He must do. I mean, there's people who've also been cutting full cosplay stuff as well. So,
See, I'm named after the Lord of the Rings, so I'm a big fan.
it was amazing series. That was a trilogy.
My dad loved the book so much that's where my name's from. Sorry.
Fantastic.
Names his daughter as well.
Sorry?
Fair. My dad was like, I knew. Oh, shut up.
Yeah.
That's why it's spelt differently, because in the grass of Lothlorien, there's these little flowers that look like buttercups, I think, or sunflowers, and they're called Elanor. And that's what I'm named after.
Oh, lovely. There you go.
Extremely dull trivia for you there.
That's not dull at all, because you are named after one of them, a flower in one of the most famous trilogies of all time. So there you go. It's a pretty name. It's a nice name.
No, I didn't when I was young. I thought it was a bit old-fashioned because, I mean, when you're 8 and your name's Elanor, that's a bit odd. But as an adult, that's cool. It's different. It's not unique, obviously, but it's not that common. So.
Have you done any other theatre apart from Panto?
Mostly not since. Oh well, actually, I was gonna say not since drama school, and that would be a big lie because I did one drama school. It was god awful. The worst thing ever. Absolutely atrocious. In the Courtiers, it was like a musical that the guy had written based on his high school life, and I was like, well, your high school life sounds a lot like Phantom of the Opera meets Freddy versus Jason, but okay. Yeah, it was just awful. It was terrible. We did Chicago in drama school. That was probably one of my favourites.
What, sorry? You did it?
Chicago with my drama.
Okay.
Loved Chicago.
Yeah, I love that musical.
Then obviously in I did the Reed Care Academy of Creative Arts, which I think's now West College Scotland Academy. It's college.
Yeah.
We did lots of things there. Like we did Romeo. We did a Big Fat Gypsy Wedding, Romeo and Juliet, which was not our finest. But we did One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. That was very good.
Oh, right. I love that film.
It's I don't know. I prefer film and TV and stuff. I'm just not. I prefer so when you do something on stage, it's done, it's out there. There's no I know you can experiment in rehearsals, but also I think rehearsals sometimes takes all the magic away because you rehearse for so long.
Yeah.
And whereas on set, you can try things, you can do things, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't matter. You can do it again, and your experimenting's a bit more. It's not a sense of it's a bit more organic, I guess, because you do it on the day and then catch it on the day without being like you've been in rehearsal and you experimented that one time and it worked really well, but now you've done that a million times over. I don't know, and I think you can get more subtlety on camera as well. Like to be angry on stage, you kind of have to be big and you're angry and you're loud and you're shouting. Whereas I love the kind of when you see someone in like a film or something and they're so angry that you're past shouting, like you're so angry that your voice is just low and quiet. Oh. Like, you can't do things like that on stage, really.
No, you can't, because, people won't hear it.
Yeah, I much prefer the subtlety film. I know that. I just sound so pretentious. I love the subtlety of film.
Yeah, I know. As you flow, flick your locks there.
I start telling people I'm an actor, but I can't help it.
I know exactly what you mean. I'm going to ask that question to everyone who has come on, because obviously there is such a stark difference sometimes. Some people get on with it. Some people, I don't mean get on with it. Some people get both ways of doing it and love both as, But they are stark contrasts, because I did theatre when I was in school, and that's what I really wanted to do until my path went a different way. And so I did all the Shakespearean stuff. I was probably, people who listen to this now, this is probably the third time I've mentioned it, so I'm really fed up, so sorry. It's 3 Men in a Boat by Jerome K. Jerome. I was the first person in the UK, in possibly the world, I think, to actually perform any scenes from Jerome K. Jerome on stage, because a theatre company had just written it into a screenplay, into a stage play, and they were going to perform it in our local theatre. And my drama teacher wrote to them and asked them, would we be able to do 3 or 4 scenes from my GCSE drama or my A-level drama, I can't remember which, and they said, yeah, that'd be great. Obviously, don't publicise it, because we haven't actually even had our first night yet. And so me and 2 others, we did 3 Men in a Boat, and we did 3 or 4 scenes from one of my A-level or my GCSE, whichever one it was, because I did drama for both, and we were the first people ever to perform it on stage.
That's pretty cool.
It is,
you're getting your own back now. You can tell people now. Tell everyone.
Exactly, I can tell everyone, because it's out there, and my performance, I got a D. No, I got an A at GCSE and a D at A-level, but I can't remember which. I think that was because I didn't like going into school. I love drama, and I love the theatre, the screen. It's like you said, it's the heat of the moment. It's just doing everything, getting out there and being on stage or being there. That's what I love. But yeah, drama A-level, which I just couldn't stand the fact that I had to write essays and essays and essays on Shakespeare, who's a fantastic playwright, but in a way, because I just got bored. Because it's like, how many times canst thou say?
No. Is that a dagger I see before mine eyes? No, it's not. Shut up.
Yeah.
I'm just hallucinating again.
Yeah, you've been on the mushrooms again.
I understand the theatrical and literary merit of Shakespeare. I do. It's just, drama school really makes you hate the guy. It really does. Like, see that episode of Blackadder where he gets him to sign something and he comes back in time and he's like, see, I got Shakespeare's autograph, and he's like, isn't that the chap who invented the biro? That would make my life, because I wouldn't have had to, because you do it in English in high school, you do it in drama school, you do it in like youth theatre, you do it everywhere, and I'm sick of him. Drama school does that to you. You will hate certain people like Brecht, like in fact Bertolt Brecht.
Yeah.
Hate him. Spent forever studying him.
Yeah, I think one of the best things I've ever heard was Peter Sellers, in a way. That's like taking his, when he did Hard Day's Night as Richard III. I'm sure you've heard that, haven't you? Peter Sellers. No, I don't mean the Richard. Maybe Peter Sellers' version of it. It's been a hard day's night, and I've been working like a dog. It's been a hard day's night, and I should be sleeping like a log. And when I get home to you, I find the things that you do make me feel all right.
That's really serial killery. I like it.
It is, yeah.
Like,
that was Peter Sellers doing. Well, it wasn't me. It was me doing a version of Peter Sellers doing.
No, it works though. I don't know. I like see, things like that. I appreciate, because when you can take them in and out of context.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing, it's meant to be subjective, but like Shakespeare's quite confining. Like the way you do it has to be Shakespearean. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. There are people who change it up and do other things, but yeah, like the Lion King. Macbeth. No, it's Hamlet. No, I can't remember now. Which one's the Lion King based on?
I can't remember. Oh no, is it? I think it is. Is it Hamlet?
I think it's Hamlet.
I think it is Hamlet.
I think so too. Yeah,
so that's a modern take on it.
See, that's the best take on it. Just saying.
Yeah, exactly. Throw out anything to do with it and just.
You want to study Shakespeare? Watch The Lion King. Job done. I love The Lion King. Yeah, I'm very stereotypical in the fact that I like Disney. However, like old Disney, like I don't think I've watched anything past Mulan.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's not the same anymore.
It's still good.
Everything's very PC now, even Disney films, and it's not. I mean, used to get a lot more. It's so silly to complain about the content of Disney films, but it used to get a bit more. Things used to be slightly more adult in a way that didn't patronise kids. Now things are quite.
Yeah.
Actually, I love The Emperor's New Groove. People always are like, "Oh, that one was terrible," and I love that film. I love that film.
Excellent. And then, but yeah, you are right. I mean, they do go PC, and then you get the likes of people like Keira Knightley saying that she's not going to let her kids watch some of the older Disney ones because of it's always about a girl who gets, it's an empowering feminism, and it's. I mean, I'm all for feminism and getting more women's rights. Don't get me wrong, but when she says that, and she's not going to teach her kids because there's always a girl who needs to get rescued by a man. I'm like, Keira, did you not see Pirates of the Caribbean films that you were in? How many times did you have to get rescued?
Not sure. No, I see the point, but if you never show them, not that I think Disney films are particularly bad examples, but just in general, if you never show your children bad examples, how do they learn? If they never see the things that to be like, to identify themselves, I don't agree with that, that's wrong, how are they going to learn the right stuff anyway? So I don't see point in censoring what you show your kids either way, as long as they have the understanding, this is wrong, this is right, this is bad, or this, you can take it for it's like Gone with the Wind. Mm-hmm. Like, everyone loves that film, it's a classic, it's a good film, but like she's been blacked, and it's still a classic. It's still, as long as you take it as it was for the time it was in.
Yeah,
Disney films are the same. Also, people like Belle. I know we're totally like talking about the semantics of Disney films now, but like Belle is actually a really good character because she's strong, not because she's a warrior. She's got personal strength. You know what I mean? Stands up and has courage even though she's weak and stuff, and that's what makes her ahead of.
And
she's a great example.
And even Cinderella, who's like coming from, she's showing that she was born. Oh, she had nothing. She absolutely had nothing. But she was just, she carried on. She persevered through a lot of bullying and torment of everyone around her. And and in the end, obviously, she became the queen of the whole, the princess or the queen, because she won through, despite the fact that she came from nothing. And it's empowering girls to say, look, you might not have anything, or you might start from low beginnings and humble beginnings, but look what you can achieve. And it wasn't just because, he was a prince with loads of money and came in. Well, actually, probably, it was really. But she pushed herself, and she fought against the sisters and the aunt, and it was.
I'm like particular umbrage with this now, because when you think about it, see, just going back to Beauty and the Beast, when I was thinking about it, I was like, it's not her that needs rescued. She doesn't really get rescued. The Beast and Gaston fight, she's never in any danger, and falls in love with him, and take bestiality out of it, but she falls in love with him despite his appearance. She stands against her community, which is like, oh, you need to be this, and you need to, you can't read, and you have to be a woman, and you have to be a wife. And she's like, no, I want to read, and I want to be intelligent, and I want to have adventures. Then she goes and has adventures, and she's not ever really a damsel. So I don't agree with you. I think Keira Knightley does a lot of wonderful work for women's rights and stuff.
Oh, she does.
That particular, I'm not sure I agree with.
Yeah, I did laugh at that one. In fairness,
don't at me.
Yeah, I mean, if that's never going to get on my show now, because I'm just sorry, Keira. But you're right. She does. I just think sometimes people just take things a little bit too much and too far. If you actually censor everything and do things, and take and hide history. History will repeat itself, and it will be deemed to repeat itself, and it has been shown in many areas. One which I will not go on to because I will be on my soapbox all day. Whereas history, if you forget about things that have happened in the past, even with even in like the way the TV shows and films. I mean, look at the Carry On films. Oh my God, I grew up on the Carry On films. I find them absolutely hilarious, but you've got to take them in context of the time they were in. Yes, they are horrendously sexist films. But at the time, it wasn't deemed that way because that was the way society actually believed. That was the normal thing.
I think
whether it was right or not, from today's standards, is another thing. But at that, you should look at it in the time it was in and not criticise and want to ban. Because I've heard people want to ban Carry On films because of it.
I think it's okay to I think it's okay to criticise them and say, well, these were horrendously sexist. But like you say, take it for its time. It was like, as long as we have moved forward and moved on now, then it's still okay to look back and be like, I understand that this maybe isn't as PC as you would expect now. However, at the time, it's taken for the time it was, and enjoy it for what it was. Same as like I said about Gone in the Wind and stuff. You've got to enjoy it for what it was, because if you start taking apart, it's racist, it's sexist, it's many terrible things.
Yeah.
A classic.
Exactly. Yeah. Everyone raves about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. You've got to take things in context. I mean, our friends of mine at history did uni. No, did history at uni. I'll get the words right the way around. And their topics, which really profoundly irritated me, was studying James Bond and the sexual and societal changes throughout, as seen through James Bond. Because you can see through when it started in the 60s and 70s, and he does. I mean, he's still a chauvinistic bastard. But you can see that sort of has changed. There's been more empowerment of female characters in the roles in more modern times, and that's what they, and you can see that as the films progress and go through. I'd say very much recently, rather than the past 30 years of James Bond, where it's always been that pure damsel in distress, and he's the slimy. I love James Bond, but he is a slimy, sadistic chauvinist.
I don't think he was ever, like, don't get me wrong, I totally think James Bond's sleazy and chauvinistic, but he was never portrayed as anything other than that. And maybe it was glamorized, but I feel like it was never specifically said it was a good thing. He just was that way.
Yeah.
Well, like, if you're like, that's cool, I think he's so suave, or if you were like, that's shit, I think he's a pig. I don't think maybe I'm wrong, maybe I've not watched the old ones in a long time, and maybe I'm just thinking of it with the naive eyes I had when I was younger, because I haven't watched it yet as an adult, but I feel like it wasn't, was it glamorized? Was it meant to be, or was it just that's the way he had to deal with it?
I think there was one of them. I mean, Sean Connery played it very like that, but the book, James Bond, he's a sadistic, cold-hearted killer. And that's who he is, and he uses women, stuff like that. And obviously Sean Connery played it to the book because he was very serious, he obviously had a few jokes in there. Then you had Roger Moore, and I think that's where it got glamorized, because he was kind of really camp, and he was a great Bond, but he was still he had the seediness in it, and I think that's kind of where people that's the era where it's sort of it's gone more basically.
I know.
And then brought back with Daniel Craig, who's just he's got this sadistic killer chauvinistic
I was going to say, he's much closer to the book Bond, but in a slightly, like, I think to be honest, they've done it quite well. He's closer to the book Bond than, say, like, Brosnan.
Yeah.
But not quite as chauvinistic. I feel like they were like, but girls will still like him. He's not great. The character of Daniel Craig's great. He's not a great human being, but you can at least sympathise or empathize.
Yeah, you can still relate. Yeah, empathise. That's what.
The whole point when you watch TV shows like I love Hannibal. Like, you watch Hannibal, even though Hannibal's terrible people, as long as you can kind of sympathise or at least empathise a little bit, you're fine. You don't have to agree with what he's doing. You don't have to think it's okay that he's a serial killer. You just have to be able to be like, I see your point. I don't agree with it, but it's interesting watching this unfold.
Yeah, see, then that's where you feel really bad, because you're like, oh my god, I'm empathising with a mass serial killer.
I love Hannibal. Like, I love that TV show. I think Mads Mikkelsen's phenomenal. I actually had an interview with him, and my partner said he thought this was a bit pretentious, but maybe that's just me being a bit pretentious. But I love this quote. He said that he thought he played Hannibal as if Hannibal genuinely believed he was the fallen angel Lucifer laughing at God. And I just thought that's really insightful, because then you watch it again, you can see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can see him like the little puppet master. I loved it. I love him.
He's a really good actor. I met him last year as well, last summer.
You are living your best life.
I have to pay for it, Well, actually, I didn't with him, because that's a bugbear. Sorry, it's really having. I meet people like yourself, and I meet other people as well. And I mean, Rory from Little Mrs. Brown's Boys really had a rant about people who charge at Comic Cons, and he said he was there going, "You trumped up bunch of twats." He said, "Why are you charged?" This is his words, not mine. it's on my show somewhere. yeah. He's like, and he says, "Why would you charge?" He says, "You're there." He goes, "Well, why do the Comic Cons?" Because you're there to give, and these people are coming, and they're your fans, and they want to support you. So what do? You rip them off. Because those Mrs. Brown's Boys, in fact, they come to see we've been to see them 4 times, and they they're hilarious. After the screen, they come. You don't like them, okay? But they come round after the show, and even in snow, it was snowing here once, and they came round and stayed for an hour and a half till every single person who came to see them backstage had been met and talked to, had a picture with them, signed their things, and had a little, engaged with them. And I thought that was a really nice thing to do. But
I appreciate that. It's just not my cup of tea. But it seems I don't like still game and stuff like that. So I don't have any sense. I think I don't have a sense of humor. I think that's the problem.
No, you've got one.
They're like, why don't you think this is funny? And I'm like, I don't know. I just don't.
Fair enough. But yeah, Mads one. I was supposed to pay. I think he was about £70 just to get an autograph.
Mr. Mikkelsen.
He was very, very, very expensive, but I'd confused and bamboozled the guy who was talking, because they have a little queue where you have to pay for the autograph, pay for it, and then you go to meet them. And I think I'd confused him so much talking, can I give him a card to get him on my show, because I'd love to speak to him on my show. The guy was like really flummoxed. And then I actually got to Mads Mikkelsen, and my wife turned around to me, because you do realise you didn't pay for that. I was like, really? I was like, get in!
Did you end up speaking to Mads Mikkelsen on your show?
No, sadly. He said he'd like to, but I find sometimes, I was going to say, like you guys with acting, with how much hard work you put in, with all the audition, I'm going to take this back to you again, how much auditioning, and all the times, you know, there are a lot of rejections when you're an actor and when you're into acting. You've got to get used to that, and that's part of the game. It's the same for my show. People think when I talk to people like you and get, you know, you and have you on my show, it's just fantastic. It really is. But there's also no, true. There's also a hell of a lot of rejection.
Prize, but okay.
Sorry, what's that?
I said I wouldn't call me a prize, but okay.
Well, you are. Any guest on my show is someone great to talk to, and you know. But there's a lot of rejections behind that, and Mads Mikkelsen's one. It's like I class people's agents like doctors, receptionists, and the fact that they're very, very difficult to get through. And I know a few people who are agents, and I do apologise to those people.
Well, I think it's what's different. Like, if you speak to him, he might be actually really willing, but his agents might be like, "You don't have time. It's not this. It's not
exactly, that." Exactly. There's been a few times where I've had big actors in TV shows, and they've wanted to do it, but they've said their agents turn around and they've said no, and I said, look, the guys told me, look, here's a screenshot. They said yes, they'd do it on Twitter, and it was like no. Other ones just want the money then, because obviously they're agents and they want the money for them, and it's like I don't earn anything, so I can't pay. If I could pay people like yourselves, I gladly would, by the way. I don't want to take up an hour of your time or so just for nothing. But yeah, one day I'll be able to.
I would still do it for free.
Oh, thank you. I'll remember that.
Yeah, I get that, notarized.
I've got that recorded now. So when you're in Hollywood, when you're leading lady in Hollywood, and I asked for an interview, and your agent said, no, I want like $5,000. I went, hang on a minute, no, listen to this. Eleanor told me.
Legal verbal contracts are binding in Scotland.
Exactly. Even though I'm not in Scotland.
I am.
Yeah, you are. So that counts. Excellent, cool. We'll carry on somewhat. Moving on with some more questions and sort of areas.
Cut some of this stuff.
I'll probably have to.
Told you.
Are you a Star Wars fan by any chance?
Star Wars, yes. The originals, though.
Okay, no, I was only asking because of your fashion taste with your light is exactly the same.
Can you see
that is, I've got the exact same light in our lounge.
Yes.
And it's the Death Star. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we've got the exact same light. I saw it in IKEA a few years back. We've actually been sat in a box for 5 years because we saw it in IKEA, and I'm no handyman, so it's just sat there in a box, not put together. And we finally put it up about a couple of months back, and it's because I saw it immediately in IKEA. I was like, oh, it's the Death Star, and you saw every guy walking around going, oh my god, even women were like, it's the Death Star. Yeah.
No, but like I said, the originals, I'm not a fan of. Well, the middle trilogy's okay. It has good bits and very bad bits. And then the new ones I'm not a fan of.
Which middle one do you mean?
I like, is it the Phantom Menace that has...
They're the prequels.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
The original trilogy, and then there was the prequel trilogy.
Yeah, and now they've got the new ones.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The prequel trilogy, is it Phantom Menace that has Qui-Gon Jinn and...
Darth Maul.
Darth Maul, yeah?
Yeah.
I like that film. The middle one, which is that Return of the Jedi? No.
Attack of the Clones?
Attack of the Clones, thank you. Is awful. And the final one, his name escapes me again, I'm terrible.
Revenge of the Sith.
That's it, thank you. They're all named very small. Revenge of the Sith I quite liked. I like the bit in the volcano. I like when he's like, you were supposed to bring balance to the Force, not destroy it. It's very good.
Yeah.
But
it turned Darth Vader into a weirdo, into a real softie. Because he's a really hard character. In the end, he goes, you killed her. No!
James Earl Jones, though, so it's okay.
Yeah, true.
It had good bits and bad bits, and then The Force Awakens was okay.
Yeah, it was a remake. I enjoyed it. It was an enjoyable film to watch, but it was just It was just a remake of A New Hope.
Yeah, The Last Jedi was crap.
Didn't understand it. I wouldn't say it was. I didn't like to say it was crap. But it wasn't. It just wasn't good. Yeah, you can say it's crap. I watched it and it was. I was just like, there's bits in it. I did sit there throughout the film going, really, and it was just like, it just didn't feel.
But, okay.
Rogue One, I've got to say, is probably one of the best films I've seen.
I think it is. Okay, it's really good. However, my friend ruined this for me. I was like, it's a great film, and he was like, yes, but it's pointless. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, we already knew what happened. And I was like, oh. He's got a point. It is pointless, but it's a good film. So.
Yeah. Well, okay, yeah, it is. Lots of Bothans died for this one. Yeah, yeah. So you know what the ending was going to be. The guy who played Darth Vader lives a mile and a half down from the road from me.
Really?
Yeah, I've known him for 25 years because he used to teach me kickboxing a long time ago, and he teaches kickboxing still in the place next to me. But he's only Darth Vader in the bit where he chokes Krennic.
Oh, okay.
They had to redo the ending, and when they did, he was busy. He couldn't make it, so they got someone else in to do Darth Vader when he does his kick-ass with the lightsaber.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, the guy's 6'6". You would not mess with him.
That's a claim to fame. I'm Darth Vader, by the way, so don't mess.
I know, yeah. He's a nice guy, lovely guy, but yeah, he's done kickboxing. He's solid as anything, and he's like, he's 6'6" or 6'8". He's bloody tall. Ridiculously tall. But a nice guy.
I'm getting some height envy.
Yeah, I know, yeah. I've got a picture somewhere, and it's quite funny because even I'm 5'10", and I'm here and he's up there. He's having to bend down to get the picture.
In the frame.
I know. I met Chewbacca. The guy who plays Chewbacca now as well in December, and he's just as tall. It's like wow.
What happened to people? They took I was going to say a Harry Potter reference there. That's very lame. But I love Harry Potter. I was going to say he took Skelly Grove, but then I thought most people aren't going to know what you're talking about. You sad person.
No. I'm sure they do. I'm sure people who are listening will know exactly what that is.
I'm very Elanor likes Harry Potter.
Excellent. I used to live right when I was in London. I'd worked down obviously till October last year. I was only a mile away from the Harry Potter studio tours.
You go?
I didn't go when I was down there. I've been a few years back, but you would think that I was only a mile away. But my son was back up, and my family were back up in North Wales, so I felt a bit bad, in fact, if I went on my own.
There's bits of it that are good. Like, see when you go into the Great Hall, that's lovely.
Yeah.
See, around there's the big bit. It's the big bit in the middle that's got the potions classroom and Dumbledore's office. It's kind of just a warehouse. You just wander around.
It is, yeah.
Then you walk through Ollivanders and stuff, and it's a bit more immersive because you can actually walk through it. Because when you're just kind of looking, I'm like, oh, that's what the classroom looks like all the way over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good tour. But I always used to come back off work and see people who've been, because I'll come into the Watford Junction train station. Because as soon as I come off from work, trudging in from a bad day at the Home Office, which is pretty much every day at the Home Office, because it sucks. I'll say that. Working in government, do not do it.
Yeah, I don't know. My sister works. I know she works in. I think she works. I think it's technically what she works for is the electorate. Either way,
So yeah, I didn't mean to just diss your sister.
No, I don't think she enjoys it either.
Oh right, okay, that's fine.
No. She's always like, it sucks.
Yeah, I've worked for 3 government departments: the NHS, the DWP, and the Home Office, and I'm quite happily saying every single one of them were dire. I can see why. No, I'm not going to say that part of it.
No, I've been to her. I think she did work for it. Just absolutely terrible. I've been to her work building, but I'm not sure what her official job title nor which government bit she is working for, but she is working for government. Okay,
excellent. I hope it's not a certain part of government. That means that now I've said that, I'll be on a hit list somewhere.
It does look like a spy.
Okay, now I'm worried.
She's very tall compared to me. Very pretty, skinny, and really likes woolly jumpers. And that's the deadliest kind of person. So you better watch out.
Yeah, I'll be watching my back.
Yeah, just in case. You might wanna.
Excellent. Who kind of inspired you to go into acting? Yeah. I'm going to slide straight off from the fact that your sister was going to kill me, and to who's inspired you to become.
You can cut. That's very, very, very difficult to answer. I don't know. I think really difficult question, actually, surprisingly. So there's lots of people who did, but I found drama really young. Like, I remember we did, I don't know if you guys have it in here, but these children's book called Katie Morag.
I think I've heard of them, yeah.
Yeah, like we did a Katie Morag play in primary one, and I Morag, and I can't really remember a time where I didn't want to be in drama and filmmaking and stuff. And I think I wouldn't say I've got maybe one influence or inspiration. You just kind of take by being involved in the world and involving yourself in film productions and even just watching films and seeing films and watching how films are made. I think me personally, you just take inspiration from a lot of people. You're like, well, look what they did. Look, you can do this. Look what these people have done. This can happen if it works. I mean, I think it'd be very difficult to say there's one specific person. Yeah, it's quite. It's as you say. Again, I just found myself sort of enveloped in it, so it's quite difficult to find one specific person who I would say inspired me, whereas maybe just the industry itself inspired me.
Okay, fair enough, fair point.
Oh, sorry, you probably wanted a better answer for that. Like, I love Scorsese. But...
No, it's a great answer. It's nice to hear because we do hear it quite a lot of times. It's like, there's loads of directors and actors and stuff. So it's good to sort of, did that just ping in your ear then? Something just pinged right in my... Sorry. That's alright, something just pinged up in my ear.
Right.
So yeah, no, it's good to...
So yeah, it's difficult to define. I've always been drawn to, I've always wanted to be industry, so I can't... Yeah. I don't know, I actually think that like films, like I love The Lord of the Rings, so it's probably because when I was a kid, actually, maybe I can maybe pinpoint a little tiny, really, really nerdy bit. When I was a kid, like, I remember my parents arguing about it, when the Buffy the Vampire Slayer pilot came out, I was 4, and I was allowed to watch it, and up until I was like 10, I just wanted to be Buffy, and I just wanted to be... So let's say Buffy. Buffy inspired me to take up acting and things.
Okay, fair enough.
Wonderful female character, and that's why she still stands up today, because she's a hero and she saves the world, and she does all of that while never compromising everything that makes her female. Because she's an average teenage girl, maybe a slightly stereotypicalized version of a teenage girl, but you know what I mean? She cares about life, wants to go to high school dances, and she does all of that while still being badass and, you know, kicking ass and fighting crime without compromising what makes her a woman. I think that a lot of writers hopefully have, and she could still learn a lot from Buffy. So there you go, Buffy.
Fair enough. That is probably one of the most strongest, most popular still female leads going.
But for good reason.
Exactly, for the good reasons.
Especially later seasons, Buffy's terrible people. She's annoying, she's selfish, but she's an actual person, and that's the whole point.
Yeah.
Like, she gets to be annoying and bratty and there because none of that compromises her ability to be competent and to save the world.
And kick ass doing it, exactly.
Fight crime, take some names and chew some bubblegum.
Yep. Excellent. Nicholas Brendan was on my show last year. Xander, he was he was all right.
I think he's had a lot of personal troubles, but he seems to be coming out of it, which
is great to hear. Yeah,
can't have more respect for anyone who can turn their life around. So
he just when I spoke to him, he'd literally, I think it was almost just after one of the lowest points of his life, and it was really nice to hear and inspiring to hear because he hadn't talked for a lot of time, and when we talked, I always think if you make one person smile or one person laugh, then your day is, your life is made, because that's how you do it. And he was in hysterics, and he was, and I was just like, that's nice to see, because he has been, not just saying it was me, just didn't know, but as part, it was just nice to see him coming out of that area that he was in, that he could actually feel that he could be relaxed enough to laugh and joke with people. And
that's good. Like, it's not, like I said, you can't have. I have the utmost respect for someone who can turn their life around, and it seems like he has.
Yeah, he has. He's been doing some good roles.
He's Xander.
Yeah, true, very true. Who would you love to work with? I was going to say this on 2 levels. First of all, for yourself as an actress, who would you love to work with?
There's so many people. Do you know, actually, and I know we've mentioned him before, Mads Mikkelsen. I love him. I think he's phenomenal. I love him. I know most people are probably like, Brad Pitt, but no, Mads Mikkelsen. I think he's phenomenal. Yeah, I know there's so many people you'd want to put in things and do. Yeah, I'm going to go with Mads Mikkelsen if I get to pick. I want him.
Okay, fair enough. And as a director, who would you love to direct? Mads Mikkelsen?
Well, that's it. Alexander Skarsgård.
Okay, yeah.
Everything I watch about him just makes me love him more. Not in like a creepy fangirl. Just when you watch him, he's just one of the rare leading men who's so comfortable. He says there's no ego and there's no nastiness. And see when you see him talk about roles, he's just so humble and like I don't know if that's like I've seen him say in many videos like that's a Swedish thing, but he just seems so. It seems like he would be a joy to work with, and like it's even also I saw I don't know if I saw was it Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel Fallon? I think it's Jimmy Fallon he was on, and he was what's the TV show he's in, and he's a creeper.
I'm trying to remember now.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm just brought him up on IMDb to have True Blood. True Blood.
He's good in True Blood, but it's a new.
Oh, hang on, let me have a look back. I've got him on IMDb, so we'll find that information. Oh gosh, he's been so many. I don't think I've seen it actually, so I couldn't remember which one it is.
Maybe it was something to do with Straw Dogs because he's been creepy a couple times, and he was really creepy. And he was talking to Jimmy Fallon, who was like, how do you do that creepy thing? And he was like, okay, just for the camera. And he's like, okay, creep up behind me and say whatever he says in the film, the TV show is really creepy. And he's just like, it's something like, are you okay, darling, or something like that, but it's really sinister. And he does, and he's all laughy and joking, kind of goofy, and he just stands behind him and they go, do it. And he just changes, and it's actually creepy. And even though he knew he was standing behind him and he told him to do it, the guy jumped. He's like, oh, you're actually quite scary. And like, all from being adorable and goofy and friendly and humble to downright terrifying, you're probably a phenomenal actor.
Yeah.
I think he would be a joy to work with.
Excellent. It's a huge family as well, the Skarsgård family, isn't it?
Okay, because there's Ellen, who's also great. Okay, do you know I have to measure Lucy. I love that movie. I mean, it's awful. I'm well aware, but I love that movie. Deeply. And he's got loads of I think a couple of his brothers might be actors in Sweden.
Yeah, I think you got Bill, Sam.
Yeah, well, Bill, he's a.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yep. I wasn't keen on him as Pennywise, but.
Oh, I love Tim Curry, and will hear nothing against him. So I didn't see the new one.
Yeah, that's my feeling. I watched the new one. I was just like, it's not because Tim Curry was.
Tim Curry. To be honest, I don't think Tim Curry was particularly scary either. But he's Tim Curry.
Yeah.
Like I film him. I would say that's who I work with. But he's not. Poor Tim Curry's not very in any condition to really work with most people. However, he's very the way he deals with his current health situation is wonderful. Like I still saw him going up on stage and singing show tunes and stuff, even from his wheelchair. I was like, that's not but he's got one of those wheelchairs that kind of holds him sitting upright because he's really. And I was like, good for you. You're still living your best.
Exactly. It was so sad to see. So you see how his illness has taken over him because
he's Frankfurter.
Frankenfurter. He's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
I like that movie Congo he's in. It's terrible. The one about the gorilla, like the gorilla that's that movie's awful, but Tim Curry's in it, so it's great.
Exactly. He's in Clue as well.
Yes. It's got Tim Curry in it. It's fine.
Exactly. I just love it anyway. He goes, who are you? He goes, I'm Wadsworth, the butler. And what do you do? I buttle.
Like, oh, fair.
Exactly. Cool. So.
Oh no, sorry. I'm just fangirling over Tim Curry. He's someone I'd be like, oh my god, it's Tim Curry.
Yeah, he's one person I'd love to meet as well. He's just phenomenal actor. I mean, even in Muppets, Muppet Treasure Island as a
cabin fever.
Yeah, I've got cabin fever.
I do like. Oh, now I'm gonna go watch the Muppet movies.
That's quite apt actually, because there's a question coming up that you might like then. So,
are you a puppet occasionally?
It's not far off it actually. So, I mean, obviously, I'm gonna have to sort of wrap this up now. I've kept you going for an hour.
You have to cut all of this out. Sorry.
Oh no, it'll be good. A lot of it. This is the kind of chat people love to listen to. It's open, but some of it might go.
Most of it's fine.
No, that's right. So with Gods Among Us, then obviously that's I'll come back to that one because that's the big one at the moment that you're going to be able to, yeah, there's your baby that you're working on. And I say it's got so many amazing people working within it, through from the production crew right through to acting as well. You start filming it. You've just done the teaser. So you've just made the teaser and we've seen the behind the scenes shots of that one, which look very dramatic. When's it start filming in earnest? Now you're going to be doing a fun. Yeah, that's the one. Crowdfunding to get the rest of it going.
June, end of June.
Okay, excellent. And when have you got a date when you want to put it out there? I want to get it completed by.
It's quite.
Because it's quite hard, I guess, to.
It's quite. Well, I mean, obviously you'd want it out by the end of the year.
Yeah.
It's quite. It is a mini feature, but it will run about 33 minutes. Going by on my pages anyway. It's quite ambitious. It's where hopefully it'll be very elegant and very artistic, I guess. I think a lot of it we're hoping to shoot it almost like a music video with like hues and colour and that kind of very stylized, very elegant, you want it to look rich, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's also quite violent.
Good.
Yes, it's also violent. It's quite so hopefully, but there's more water shooting and people dying and gods have powers that will need to be taken into account. And I think even for a mini feature I would say it's quite a big cast, like main cast as well. We have 14, and then there's like your main cast, and there's like your supporting. There more it's principal cast. I don't think there's maybe like 1 or 2 supporting roles, but there's not really any extras or anything like that. It's just your principal cast, which is like 14 people, and then maybe I would maybe call them supporting roles, a couple other ones. So there's there's not, you know what I mean? It's a lot to do, lots of people to kill, lots of so hopefully, sorry, I'm totally rambling.
It's all right.
Hopefully the end of the year is where we're looking for. It's going to go through festivals, things like that, and have premieres and many exciting things. Excellent.
No, that'd be a lot. It's definitely one to look forward to, and do let me know the links for all the crowdfunding and everything, because I'll share it, and if I can support it, I will support it myself. I'm just trying to financially stay afloat at the moment, but I'll do whatever I can to support everyone else. Yeah, aren't we all? Yeah.
Like Christmas is bad.
Yeah, like yourselves, obviously. I contract, so you only get paid for for the work you do, and you don't get paid holidays. So Christmas you have to be forced to take 2 weeks off. So January it's just like you get 2 weeks of it when everyone else has got loads of birthdays in January and February, and then you don't get paid for 2 weeks of it. You're like, yes, it's spot on, isn't it? So anyone who thinks this is I'm not in, this is IT, but anyone who thinks acting and stuff is such a glamorous life, they're so wrong. It's so
wrong.
Yeah, I saw a lovely quote. Was it you who shared it about art being? It's not. Oh God! It's not a way to make money. It's an art. It's a way to make your own. To enrich your soul rather than enrich your lives a lot of the time.
Producer Kerry Browne, I think she shared that.
It could be, yeah. I saw something out there and I thought it was a really good quote.
Yeah, really. Like, I'm not in this for money or anything. Because if I was, I'd be failing. But I'm not. It's not about. Because I just think I sound so pretentious. It's about like creative vision and seeing your stories come to life and getting to be other people and experience things that you wouldn't normally experience. It's quite freeing. It's wonderful.
Yeah, it is something, and that's I love that. I bang on every time about the independent circuit. And that's what so fascinates me about independent film, because I love them so much more. And since I've been doing this show, I love them even more than I did, because the people like yourselves who I talk to, I can see that you're not in it for the. I mean, obviously, your money would be great. Hollywood, no one's going to deny that would be fantastic. But the passion of making a film like Gods Among Us, where everyone is so like-minded, you're all out there. All you want to do is make something the best it can be, and because you enjoy doing it so much, and that's what really shines through on independent film. And
I think we've been really lucky. Like, obviously, we contacted Daniel about coming on board, and obviously we've spoken a lot. But the first time we met face to face, obviously we speak a lot online, things like that. The first time we met face to face was doing the promo, and I'm unbelievably happy. We make I hope I'm going to assume he feels the same. We had such a good team. Like there was no, I don't know. You sometimes you just click. Like he was like, do this, and I'm like, yeah, we're going to do this. But he's like, cool. Then he'll be like, okay, we're going to do this, and it's like fine. There was loads of bouncing off of each other, and sort of like it's like that's your way, that's fine, that's my. Do you know? And it just worked, and lots of this. And like, well, I was thinking this, so that, you know what I mean? It just worked. We worked really, really well together. So I'm very, very excited to start principal photography proper.
Fantastic, and it does look really exciting. I say it's very intriguing from the behind the scenes of even just the teaser. It's like looking at it and thinking you can see the artisticness, the artistic shots that have gone in just to making the teaser, and it's like you can see the style of it. It looks like it's going to be really something to take the world by storm.
I hope so. I think it was. Like I'm going to say again. I think the promo was quite ambitious. I'm going to say. Getting that many people in an underwater tank. And a lot of people are like, I've never done this before. This is quite nerve-wracking. What do I do? There's a shot, and I think you've seen it, so it's not as well, of me falling into the water, like sinking. I had to get a weight belt put on me. That was quite. I'm like, I'm not tall enough to stand in this water.
Yeah.
But I'm like this, and the water's over my ears. And people are trying to shout me, but like Daniel's trying to shout direction. I'm like, dude, I can't hear you. My ears are water.
All I can hear is just like epic silence.
Just like, I'm like, okay.
Now fall. Yeah.
I'm like, sure. I think that was action. I don't know, but yeah, no, it was quite. Weight belts, man, they take your inertia. Like I can swim. I wouldn't call myself a particularly strong swimmer. But you're like trying to swim and you've got a weight belt on, and I'm just like not moving in the water. It was a bit nervous. Get used to it. After a while, I was like, "Oh, just sink," which was what I was supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
But apparently, I float because that's what we have this sort of lifeguardy sort of man. And he's like, some people just float. And I was like, well, it would be really handy if I didn't, considering I'm trying to sink for this shot. He was like, some people just float.
Yeah. They are float down here.
That's about something that would be terrible out of context, so I'm not going to. I was about to call myself a floater, which is...
Yeah, I know exactly.
I was like, maybe not. But,
yeah,
sometimes you've got to let your stupid thoughts fly free.
Yeah, I'll remove that one.
I don't care. I'm good with it.
Excellent. Okay, before I let you go, Elan.
Yeah, sorry. Taking up some of your time rambling over nothing.
I don't care. I've actually loved talking to you.
Me too.
I'm going to say there's a question, and this alludes to the Muppet one. I've asked everyone, because 2 years ago, I used to say it was last year, but now it's 2 years ago, I had a guy who was in Star Wars. He was Neen Num, you know, the monkey face guy who flew the Millennium Falcon. Yeah, he was in it. He's the only one, actually, from the original trilogy who survived through to The Last Jedi. That's for starters. This character is the only one of the originals.
Oh, okay.
Extra cast, obviously, not like Luke Skywalker and stuff, but the extra cast, all the Rebel Alliance. He's the only one of those extras, sort of featured extras, who survived all the way through. Anyway, he's worked with Jim Henson for 30 years, and he's had his hand up Kermit and Miss Piggy, who were. Worked on Labyrinth, worked on Dark Crystal. Oh yeah, amazing films, amazing. And someone asked a question to me, and I don't know if it's... No, it wasn't. I actually asked it to Kate Davies. Speak was the first one I asked it to, so there's a shout out to Kate. She was the first one to ever have this question asked to her after this guy.
I read An Evil Buddy.
Yeah, oh yes, I've seen that. Yeah, she did want to know, yes, your skills.
You just have to be Leon.
I can't wait to play that game. I haven't got VR, but I need to play that game.
So if it's everything I dreamed it would be. Like Resident Evil is my favourite game.
Yeah.
I'm quite a video game nerd, you might have noticed. Resident Evil 2 is like my favourite game ever. Love it. And the remake's the best. I would say play it on hardcore if you want like an actual Resident Evil experience, because standard was a bit too easy. Like we played through it, me and my partner played through it as Claire, and I had more aid sprays and ammo. Well, he did in his playthrough. More aid sprays and ammo than I've ever seen in my life in any Resident Evil game. So play it on hardcore if you want the experience.
Excellent. I played it once when I lived in Germany. I lived in a little remote flat, and I used to play Resident Evil on the PlayStation 1 out there, and my friends came round at like 3 in the morning. They lived in Germany, they're all on weed, and that's how they lived. But I didn't. I just like to say, but I was playing Resident Evil at 3 in the morning, and all I heard was this big knock on the door just as the Dobermans were coming to attack me on Resident Evil. I have to say, I probably very nearly needed to change my trousers at that point because I was just, and they were all there going, Chris, because they knew exactly what I was doing.
Tell me you were playing as Chris. Like, you are Chris and you were playing as Chris.
I think I was, actually.
Yeah.
I think I was. Cool. Anyway, yeah.
Sorry,
it's alright, that's fine. Resident Evil gaming talk is always great. Back to the question is, if you could have a Muppet created based on your character, based on your own personality, what kind of Muppet would it be and why? And you can have a mix of Muppets, a new Muppet. This is where you say you are a Muppet.
Let's do first the episode of Angel, the Buffy spin-off, where he gets turned into a puppet.
Yeah.
Can I be an evil smile time puppet that murders people?
Yeah, fair enough.
Yay! And I want to be a vampire Muppet.
As in a proper vampire, not like Van.
And, yeah, like, was like an actual vampire Muppet. Like, remember when he had that spike and spike just keeps giggling? Yeah, I want that. I want to be a vampire Muppet.
Excellent. That's a totally different take that anyone has ever given me.
But they're supposed to be like, I want to be Miss Piggy but skinnier and speaker but able to talk.
Yeah, no. I mean, I've some.
Sorry for that.
It's alright. You have to give an impression now because people get the impression.
I used to be able to do Miss Piggy if I was on the spot.
See, I do my Kermit. My Kermit actually did to this guy. It's like, hang on, I'll have to have a little drink first. Hold on to get my throat because it hurts.
I used to be able to do this. I think I can.
Okay, so why are there so many songs about rainbows? Or a piggy, or we need to dance set piggy. That's my Kermit.
That's amazing. Oh god, I've totally put myself on the spot now. I used to be able to do Miss Piggy. Kermit. You know what I can do? Have you ever seen Monsters Inc?
Yes.
You know the big slug?
Oh yeah.
I can do Roz.
Oh god.
I'll be watching you. I'll be always watching. You didn't file your paperwork, Wazowski. Do that.
Nice spot. that deserves one of these. Oh, where is it? Oh, yeah, and that.
I thought you were going to give me the slow clap.
Yeah, you might. I'm glad you didn't phrase that as I thought you were going to give me the clap. That
is how rumours start, my darling. But yeah, sorry. I'm so sorry, but yeah, that's my claim to fame. Cool. That's mine. I can do that.
It's Roz. Roz actually reminds me of my old manager at the Home Office because she looked like her. She had that facial expression and the glasses.
You haven't filed your paperwork, Chris.
Yeah, exactly.
I can do that, and I can do Kate Nash, which is terrible.
Go on.
Remember Kate Nash?
Vaguely.
It's awful. My fingertips are holding onto the cracks in our foundations, and I wish that I could let go, but I can't.
There you go. Perfect.
I hate all this stupid I said it right, hang them out with your mates because they're much fitter. You must eat a lot of lemons because you're so bitter. Shut up. Yeah. Just shut up, you whiny.
Yeah, you're on one now. Okay?
Sorry, I'm going to chill and just cooling my jets.
Excellent. So, is there anything you'd like to say to anyone who's just listening or watching this? The final thing.
It's don't at me.
Yeah.
Please keep an eye out for Gods Among Us. You can find it on IMDb. You can find it on, if you follow hashtag Gods Among Us Film, that's our official hashtag. We've got a Facebook page. You can find it on IMDb. You can post it. If you follow any of the cast on Instagram or Facebook, anything like that, you will be regaled, I'm sure, with tales of Gods Among Us. It's based on, I plug myself, it's based on my award-winning script, so I'm quite chuffed about that. Hopefully, it will do quite well. Keep an eye out. We've still got some casting to do as well, so keep an eye on the page for that. Things like that and crew calls. So if anyone's looking to be involved, don't at me straight away, but we will put casting because we always message and I'm like, no, message me personally. There will be calls on the page and things, so if people are still looking to be involved, we're still looking for some people. So when the calls come up, and only when the calls come up, please feel free to email the casting address.
Fantastic. Thank you all for tuning in. I really hope you enjoyed listening or watching to that episode. as much as I did making it for you. Again, as I said, please make sure you subscribe to Hellblazer Biz on YouTube, at Hellblazer Biz, on Twitter and Instagram, and Hellblazer Biz on Facebook, and www.hellblazerbiz.com. Share the word, spread the word. I need more guests. I need more people like you to send me questions so I can get guests and help me get them on. So thank you very much for tuning in. This has been Chris Gordon on Hellblazer Biz, with another fantastic guest lined up for you soon.